Good evening, everybody. It's Crash. Thought I'd do a quick market debrief for today, 18 January 2024. It's kind of late. Hopefully some of you can catch this before the market opens RTH tomorrow. Thought I would highlight the impact trading system, which is my system of trading that I use every single day. Basically includes 4 different components. Crash's clock, which many of you heard me talk about before. It includes time and price-based cycles. It includes projections for cycle highs and lows throughout the day. It also includes very specific structured trade setups. I have about 10 to 12 structured trade setups on a 1-minute chart. I also have a sniping system, and then I do, of course, bookmap analysis. Quick disclaimer, do your own research. I'm not a professional. I accept no liability whatsoever for any loss or damage you may incur. Trading is risky. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Speculative involves substantial risk. All right, just looking at my 1-minute chart. This is very complex. I'll try to dumb it down as much as we can, as busy as the slide is. Just overall, I'm looking at an MNQ chart. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so my market opens at 6:30 in the morning. I'm going to show you the big picture rotations. Just in general, this is a 1-minute chart. I have 2 different clouds. So you can see kind of a lime green and a magenta style cloud, which is slightly separated by, excuse me, another cloud, which is a green and a red cloud. I have orange and purple down arrows, which are sell signals. I have blue and green up arrows, which are buy signals. And then various lines throughout the day provide areas where we have buy or sell signals. For the specific rotation for today, I'm looking for a spill up at the open to be followed by 0.4, which is an AM low, to be followed by 0.5, which would be back up again. This is a typical S2L, which we say basically is how deep is your 5, and that takes me to a high with a little seesaw pattern that takes me back up to another retest of the high. We call this how high is your 5. Then we move back down into a PM low, and then the final move into the close. Remember, the amateurs open and the professionals close. The sweet spot of trading is going to be in this area right in here. Once we start getting into 12:30 Eastern Standard Time for about 2 hours, you're going to get into what I call the slog. That's where you're going to get chopped up. You got to be very careful. Have very specific trade setups up in this area. Don't oversize your trades during this period of time. Find things that will get you large moves and try to stay in those moves. You can see that we created a wedge in the first hour. Don't get chopped up, particularly in the first 15 minutes. And sometimes it can last 30, 40, 45 minutes, depending on what's going on. You can see that we ran up over Globex. So I had 2 targets here, 2 daily targets for the initial highs, and we pierced them before the market ever opened. So now we're kind of seesawing back and forth over a point of control, and we really need to make sure that we get a breakout of that wedge before we start making any trades of any kind of size. The AM high here came close to the past cycle, day 2 high at the 1792 area. Didn't quite get back up there, but it did give us a point of reference. We used Bookmap, Market Pulse, VPI to help us find this turn. I have a sell signal here, which shows the delineation between the buy pressure and the sell pressure that's starting to come on. This little move here came down to a confluence of factors for me. I have a blue eagle line. I have a red viper line, and then I have this red line, which is basically pre-identified. It stays at this spot pre-market. It's called the treasure box resistance 1. So we took that low down into points of confluence between the blue and the red line, and then we're looking for a bounce up to retest the highs. When we retest the highs, I also have a red line called the treasure box high. This is up here at the 17107 line. This was marked pre-market. So we're looking for a double top up here to take us back in an ABC pattern down into the PM low. once we get into this PM low, several points of confluence down here. Obviously, we have an ABC pattern, which we didn't quite hit. We came down to the day's initial target 2 high, which was met again in pre-market, but it was used as a reference point to bounce up into the PM high. Realize that the PM low came in early today. If you looked at an ES chart, this is exactly where the close was from yesterday on the ES. So we did a gap fill here. And then we have all the points of confluence that we talk about. If you couldn't identify the points of confluence, we had the market pulse order flow on Bookmap. We have a buy arrow, and we get the trade cloud going from sell to buy. Note that this crash trade here, this deeply oversold trade down at this gap fill level with these points of confluence, has a repeatable pattern of producing 50 to 100 points on this specific setup. I also have a setup of something called the ACE line, which is set here pre-market as well. So I have two lines that both are structured trades that produce 50 to 100 points, and you can see that we did that very easily. We have two ABC patterns moving up. I have a very small ABC pattern moving to this point reference here, which is my Viper line roughly at 1763. And then I basically go from there, and we can look for a larger ABC pattern, which is being met after RTH and the Globex. The move up high comes up to several points of confluence as well. We have R2 up here. We have a 3-day target, which was pre-identified. So several points, in addition to the structured trades taking us up the 50 to 100 points, we have several points of confluence. I want to look at this area just to highlight the sniping chart that I use. So this will be what we're looking at next, and that's right here. You can see the double top is this double top location here on the 1-minute chart. You can see that we have support lines in the blues and greens. We have bear resistance lines in the yellows, pinks, and blues and purples. And you can see that right here I have a shift in background color from blue to red. And you can see that the resistance starts to kick in. I have a first pullback rule on these lines. So once price breaks down and bounces back up in the development of the resistance, I'll take the first trade of it hitting the yellow line. Then I will follow that down. If I don't get that, I'll look for the first pullback to the orange line. If I missed all of this today, not using my other analysis well enough, I could take the first pullback in to hit the orange bear 6 line, is what I call this one. So this is 4, the yellow is 4, 6, 10, 15, and 20. The first touch of the 6, if we would have gotten in there, I would have put my stop and I would have trailed it above the orange line all the way down. If I would have done that, that would have produced a 45-point trade before price came back out and hit my orange line again. All right, that's all I'm going to cover on the snipe system. To keep this short, just want to highlight it. And then quickly looking at Bookmap, I'll show the same turn here, kind of a double top. You can see that we have liquidity here that we come up the right side of. So I'm not looking to take a trade or a short here because I want the market to prove to me that it's exhausted. We did have a pre-ID'd target price here of 17,108, which is right in this area right here. So we get a double top M for murder formation. You could take this trade in a couple different ways. Number one, we had the pre-ID'd price target. Number two, you have market pulse VPI. Very clearly seen here. These are 15-minute time frames. You can see that you don't take the first market pulse VPI because you're coming up the side of liquidity. I'm looking for the price target reaction here. And then I'm also looking for the second touch, in this case, of the market pulse VPI with the exhaustion here. You can wait for the M formation and buy the breakdown here, or you could follow the trade down with its impulse move, as Bruce likes to say in the Bookmap Discord channel, pops back up, and then you have a lower high. So now you could short this back down into the move into the PM low that we discussed in the previous slides. All right, just wanted to show the 4 different things: the cycle rotations, the 1-minute chart setups for structured trades, the sniping system, and then book map analysis. Just for those of you on the record who want to know what tomorrow is, I have Friday the 19th as a D2 S3 wildcard day. I'm looking for 6 turns, spill up, followed by an AM low, then a high, a mid AM low, followed by a PM high, and then a PM low. It is a wild card. It is a Friday, so it might be a little scattered. Thanks. Have a good day.